This is the Hypothetically Sound podcast,
hosted by Alec, Randy, and Xavier,
where we take a hypothetical look at the world around us,
exploring the what ifs, maybes, and how comes.
Join in on the unfiltered, raw, and real conversations
as we explore the world around us. Welcome back to Hypothetically Sound. We hope you guys are having a good day. As always, I am Randy, joined with my brother Alec.
Yeah.
And today we are on number 97 of Apple Music's top 100 albums of all time. And the album is Rage Against the Machine by Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, the self-titled album.
Yeah. It was a demo tape before it was made into an actual album. This is a little more quick facts about Rage Against the Machine before we get into our scores for the album. Came out in December of 1991. They actually recorded the demo before with a new drummer before even doing a live show. They sold the demo tape for $5 at their shows before selling about 5,000 copies at shows and then being signed to a record deal. Which is wild.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I mean, it kind of makes sense, though. It's the 90s, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people, that's how they got their deals, man.
That's true. Like
selling their
hip hop,
CDs
that was a thing.
Back of the truck and shit for like $1 or $2.
Mm-hmm. Also, one interesting note, because there's a lot about this band, but I'm going to get through the interesting stuff about them real quick, is they did actually have two songs that they played at live shows while like doing the demo for trying to get a record deal, called Hit the Deck and Clamp Down. Never made it on the demo, and people believe there is no recording of those songs. So like they have two songs that unless you saw them live in 91 will never be heard again.
Interesting.
And like you know it's true, because who's recording stuff in 91 at a concert? No one. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this album. I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, me too. I enjoyed it a lot as well.
So, are you ready?
I guess.
I said, are you ready?
No.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Well, when you put it like that.
Sorry, my wrestling Triple H came out for a second.
Yeah, you scared me, bro. Don't do that ever again.
So Rage Against the Machine is a 12-track album / demo tape, and we are going to start with track 1 called Bombtrack. What did you think of Bombtrack?
Yeah, I thought it was a solid start to the album. You know, it really gives off the like indie rock band influence, like garage band vibes that they have.
Yeah.
It's a good sound, and it gets you pretty hyped for the upcoming album, and it kind of, you know, starts the trend you'll hear as you listen through the album. Solid 8 out of 10. Nice.
Said, let's get the obvious out of the way. They're a mix of heavy rock and rap. If you don't know who Rage Against the Machine is, they are one of a few white groups during this time to combine the two and get popular off of it. Sounds great. Like, fantastic. Like, I like rap. I like rock. You mix them and you do it well. It's fantastic. It's a dream. I think Rage is a good group to get people who only listen to rap into like expanding their music. Like, because there's a lot of stuff in Rage Against the Machine that you can relate to, that you can listen to, understand the lyrics. And like, while it is still heavier of a rock, it's not off-putting to people who don't like rock music, who just hear it as noise.
Yeah,
like, there is a good rhythmic base to it.
Yeah.
I said it's a good song, good intro to the album. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. That's a fair score.
Yeah, I thought it was fair. Then we get to probably one of their more popular songs. Just as a group, if you've ever watched a movie or listened to radio, you've most likely heard this. It is Killing in the Name.
Yes, sir. Killing in the Name.
What did you think of it?
So it was made in response to the Rodney King incident. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it is a fairly like simplistic but powerful song
Mm-hmm.
in regards to that. It's kind of unfortunate. It's still pretty relevant today.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's probably gonna be relevant for a while. Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
sound wise, it goes hard.
Yeah.
I got a fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
They performed this for BBC Radio live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And were asked not to swear because at the end of the song, it's a whole lot of fuck yous.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do, things like that.
Yeah.
And they really stood by those lyrics because they definitely played that part
Oh, yeah.
during their performance.
Super aggressively too.
Yes, yeah, I feel like it was more aggressive. Like I watched the performance after,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it was more aggressive on the live thing than it was like on the track itself.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, even if it's like message aside, the sound of it's a pretty solid rock song. I gave like a half out of 10.
This is a little off topic slightly. BBC, you think would have learned by now not to demand artists to do something different with their music. Like this is like the eighth. Like this was probably one of their first instances, but like it's happened over and over again. Like just recently with Sabrina Carpenter telling her not to do her outro to one of her songs and not make it dirty. Like, don't tell artists to change their style when it is their style and they've been doing it and it's the music. Like, yeah, it's dumb. You learn by now that artists are going to do what they want. Sorry.
Yeah.
But Killing in the Name. Yeah, I agree. Fantastic song. 90s music was great. It really was. Especially with groups like this. They said what they wanted to say and they didn't care. Especially against the system. Like they would say what they wanted about police, about the government, about infrastructure, whatever they wanted to talk about, they were going to say it and they didn't care if they got popular off of it or not. Like imagine they somehow collabed with NWA and like did a remix of Killing in the Name and Fuck the Police and they performed it together. How amazing that would have been. Like the lyrics alone in the song make it great. But what they do with the instruments as well just makes the song a classic. I gave it one of my highest scores so far, 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean it's a great song. It is. It deserves the popularity it got.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And again, with the situation that it is written for, it just becomes relevant every what seems like 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
So
100%.
The next song on the track, I believe, is Take the Power Back.
Yeah, that is correct.
This is I didn't have a lot of notes on this one. I just put I love a good anti-government / anarchist song. Like this is it, right?
Yeah.
And the bass line goes disgusting on this song. Like it is insane. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really good as well.
I said the funk influence right away is just so good.
The bass line, bro, it's disgustingly good.
It drew me in. Like a good bass guitar is an underused skill in music. Like it's just so good. It's so good. If you are, I said, if you're someone who doesn't like government, bosses, parents, authority, like this Rage Against the Machine is the band for you. Yeah. If you're an angsty teen, if you're an angsty adult, like Rage Against the Machine, even now is, like you said, it is going to always be relevant. Can't say that word. Cut the podcast. Over. No, it is always going to be in the current trend of things until we are a peaceful society, which is never going to happen because we're humans. I said I think the lyrics hype you. The instrumental on the song hypes you. And I even said that they have like a little lull at like 4 minutes and 50 seconds in the song before they go hard again and draw you right back in. It's fantastic. Ebb and flow. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I like that Rage is the type of rock that like I wouldn't mind having playing while we are driving down like the streets of any city.
Yeah.
But yeah, Take the Power Back is compared to the two before this is like the anarchist song for sure. Like this is it's super big, it's super good.
No, 100%. Then we move on to Settle Nothing, the fourth track. What did you think of it?
It kind of hits closest to home. It's somewhat of a warning song, in my opinion, along with like slightly motivational. Also the guitar solo, I just want to point that out, is sick. That goes into the outro. Anyways, it's a song that focuses on like street crime / gang life, and that like you being the only one that can rely on, and like it just kind of equates to like when we grew up in Minneapolis, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like we know why people join gangs, and this song essentially hits that topic of it being like kind of your only choice / solace to survive on the streets and all this, you know. So Settle for Nothing is literally, as it says in the title, is like just don't settle for anything, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, sometimes that's street crime and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is my lowest rated song on the album. Everything else is just rated higher than it. It's not that I didn't enjoy the song. I enjoyed the song. I enjoyed every song on the album. They said this track is close to a 2000s emo rock song to me. Not my favorite on the album, but still not a bad song. Rage is really good at ebbing and flowing their music in their songs, keeping you guessing, keeping you on a roller coaster. I enjoyed it, but I gave it a 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 8.5 out of 10.
Like, honestly, I'm trying to think of the song in my head and I can't hear it, so that probably is why I gave it a 6 out of 10, just compared to some of the other songs on the album.
That's fair. I just super fuck with the sound a lot. You'll see a lot of high scores from me. I fuck with rock. I fuck with the fact that these guys are a fusion of like rock, punk, funk, metal.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I fuck with all that. I fuck with like the message. Like it's just all good to me. So you will see some high scores from me. I did end up ranking this one pretty decently. Next we got Bullet in the Head, yeah?
Yeah.
Once again, it's rock. The guitar solo, fucking insane. The tone of it also throughout the song isn't over the top. It's really weird how to describe this one because it's not over the top, but it's still like it's aggressive enough for the message. Like it keeps the rock like that feeling without drowning out the leads like lyrics and vocals at all. And it's like really impressive to see, especially with like 90s recording stuff, because it's super easy to mess that up. Song just seemed like typical governments using the media to control the population, relevant today. It's a 10.5 out of 10 for me again.
Nice. What did you say? 5.5 or 8.5?
8.
8. Okay.
My lowest, I'll just spoil it. My lowest is an 8. Like,
okay. No, fair. Like I said, my lowest was a 6, but I don't know why I did it. I'll have to listen to the song again after the podcast. But for Bullet in the Head, I said they do such a great job of blending genres and styles together. Like, for example, this one was funk, rap, and rock all mixed together, and it was just great. I said I love the instrumental solos in this song particularly. It feels like everyone in the band got their time to shine with this song. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Then we move to the next track number 6, Know Your Enemy. I thought something with Rage Against Your Machine that's really nice is every song has a unique intro.
Mhm.
That was great to me. It feels like the band wanted to show its range with their instrumentals while also showing the uniqueness of their lyrics and the for the time, uniqueness for the time. Not uniqueness for anarchy bands, but just uniqueness for the time. I up to this point, I say I enjoyed every song I could listen, and that I could listen to them play instruments all day. Like I think they're underrated for their like drums, guitars, and whatnot. Obviously, people know their singer, but I think they're underrated as a band in general.
Yeah,
I gave this song an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I gave Know Your Enemy 9 out of 10. Again, if you don't listen to the lyrics and you're just in it for the rock, it's good. It's very good. It follows the theme of the whole album, authoritarian. I can't say that word apparently. Track. But this one features an anti-war theme to go with it, so it is slightly different. Like, I will give them that. It isn't just straight fuck the government. Like, they do have their like particular theme for said track, which is nice as well. So yeah, Know Your Enemy, 9 out of 10. Super solid.
Yeah. Then we move to probably another one of their most well-known songs, even if you don't know it's by them. Number 7 on the album, Wake Up.
Yeah. It's very impressive that this band in general, these guys, decided to take a stance on a lot of these things that honestly probably could have been ignored by them, and they could have just made a regular rock band or rock songs. This track more about the government's involvement with stopping the African American movement. They reference MLK and even Malcolm X, like very blatant, say that the government was involved in their deaths and all this stuff. Like, again, it's a lot of repeating because it's all the same. I mean, it's not all the same, but it's all similar stuff. It sounds great. It has a good message.
Yeah.
It's a fuck the government song. 9 out of 10.
The interesting thing about Wake Up is before they start the song and the band's just playing instrumentals, their front man, Zach De La Rocha, he likes to give speeches. For example, in 2007 at Coachella, he alleged that the United States would start wars in other countries to suit its own purposes, which, duh. And earlier, he read J. Edgar Hoover's memo aloud in front of concert goers, and he does this every time. Like, he does a different speech beforehand. And so clearly, it's amazing that even at later on, past their prime popularity, they're still doing what they want to do. If you're going to listen, they're going to try their best to wake you up, as the song calls. And I said this is probably their most well-known song, even if you don't know it, because this song is used in the final scene of The Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
So
that sounds familiar. Okay.
if you've seen The Matrix, which a lot of people did, you heard their song in the final scene, the most climactic scene in the movie. Another thing that it would maybe remind you of if you're a wrestling fan, I said it instantly reminded me of wrestling. I don't know if it is the actual song, but it sounded familiar and gave me good memories. And I said the song it reminded me of was the DX's intro with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And it sounded like it because while they didn't actually use Wake Up, it was their inspiration for the band that made the song.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I hear it. I'm listening to it right now because I was like, I don't know about that. And then you're right. It was 5 seconds in, bro. I turned that on real quick. Yeah.
It is literally they said, because I even looked it up after, it is inspiration they used to make the actual theme song.
Yeah.
And without using Rage Against the Machine. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I love the song. It's great. Like, it is probably the biggest commercial success without being commercially known.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great. Great song. It's a great song. Everything about it is fantastic. The way they treat it, live performances, just gives it another boost of awesomeness.
Next is Fistful of Steel. This is my favorite song on the album. Sonically, I think it's fantastic. Another song speaking about the injustices of the world, man. Except it's him using his fistful of steel as like referencing the mic in his hand versus like, guns or using violence to combat these injustices that a lot of people do, Yeah, it's probably my favorite song on the album. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Like, nice. It's definitely tied for the best in my opinion.
I did rate it high as well. I did give it a 9 out of 10. Obviously, Killing the Name is my favorite. It's just so good. But this was close. Wake Up and this were very close. I said it was a nice change to some of the music because it's a little slower and more chill to give him the opportunity to be the front man in this song. Like you said, Fistful of Steel is about his words. The song is about his words, which is great. And then they give the band still an opportunity with the instrumental breaks in the song, and it's really fantastic. That's what I love most about Rage is they time their instrumental breaks really well to keep you interested and flowing with the song. But yeah, 9 out of 10. It's a great song. It's a great song.
It gives off like it does a very well giving off like a very 90s like underground rap feel while also giving like again the garage band like rock feel at the same time. Insane.
Yeah.
It's almost like a grungier Beastie Boys.
You do get that feeling from them.
Yeah.
A lot. And it just because that's kind of what Beastie Boys 2 was a like I said earlier on, they're one of many white groups who combine genres to be a commercial success, but also use their platform to try to enlighten and inspire and wake up people about hardships, not only in poorer communities, but in just the world in general. Which is something like I personally want more bands to do, is to use their platforms to try to spread awareness. That's probably why I like Rage so much. It is what I like just in my life. But after Fistful of Steel, we move to track 9, which is Township Rebellion.
This is actually the least popular song on the album, according to Spotify. Like Spotify listens, right? I also want to preface this. I listened to this on YouTube, so if you try to listen to this on YouTube, every song has a little warning on it. It's a pain in the ass listening on YouTube, man. Because at the time, my Spotify had ads, and I just wasn't going to deal with that. Because ads really kill my vibe, and so it was a pain to get through it. So if you have the choice, don't listen to this on YouTube because it's all their songs are just like mass spammed with like suicide warnings and stuff, man.
Yeah,
it's awful. It's truly awful. But yeah, according to Spotify, this is the least popular song on the album. I don't think it's anything like it's good. I don't think it's anything special on the album. It's just more of the same themes. I do think it might be a little underrated, but it's still really solid. It still holds up against with like everything else. I did give it an 8 out of 10, which again is my lowest rating. So
yeah, no, I said this one gets right into the flow with a cowbell. Like it starts going a little quickly with the cowbell and everything in the flow, and then slows down. I said it's a good mix of a good intro into what they were looking for. I said this is the first song where I definitely see the West Coast rap influence in their music. because in case you didn't know, they are a West Coast group that grew up near Compton. Especially with how the system treated people in California in general in the 80s and 90s. I think I said that they're doing their best effort to get people to see and wake up to what was happening in California at the time. I did give the song a 7 out of 10. While it wasn't the greatest song on the album, not bad by any means. Before we move on to the last track, so I said earlier there's 12 tracks on the album.
You were referencing the demo.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't listen to the demo. We listened to the 10-track 20th anniversary special edition one.
Yeah, I listened to it on Spotify.
Yeah. So. And the ones on YouTube only gave me the 10 tracks. But
yeah, there's a demo version out there for you people if you want to.
It has different songs that didn't make the final cut. And, sure, it's worth a listen. We haven't listened to it. I haven't listened to it.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah. No. I do plan on going and listening to the ones that I missed. But doing 100 albums holds that back just a tiny bit. But it's definitely a revisit. Yeah,
no, it's definitely I'm listening to one time through and then moving on to the next because there's a lot of albums, there's a lot of podcasts, and a lot of stuff we had to do. But I really enjoyed this album, so it's being added to my road trip rotation.
I got you. Don't worry.
Thank you. I appreciate it. My brain fuzzes sometimes. We are to the final song on the album, number 10. Freedom.
Hell yeah.
I said I thought the guitar solo at 2 minutes was the highlight of the whole song. It was just so smooth. I really enjoyed it. I said it feels like 5 songs in one with this one, and that the ending kind of hurt my ears, just like the noise that they choose to have. And I said it lost its point a little bit because of it to me. So I did rate it a 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was a decent wrap up for the album. I gave it an 8 out of 10, so tied for my lowest. I agree, it was a little lost in translations towards the end. However, it focuses and raises awareness of the American Indian movement, which I didn't know anything about really. So I got to look that up and learn a couple things. And it's very interesting. Like I said, Rage is really good at coming through and bringing up topics that other people at the time, unless you're involved, just wouldn't really bring up. And this is the perfect song that encapsulates that, honestly. Yeah. So if you're in it to listen to lyrics and kind of do some research, the song is fantastic. Sound wise, it's decent. Again, it's 8 out of 10. So,
great. What did you give the whole album as a whole?
Overall, this one gets the highest rating, I believe, thus far for me by quite a bit. 8.75 out of 10. It was pretty up there, honestly.
Yeah.
I saved the whole album to my Spotify list. So.
Same. This one is higher than the Eagles for me. I really did enjoy the Eagles album. I gave the Eagles an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, mine was an 8.25 out of 10.
I gave Rage Against the Machine an 8.5 out of 10.
It's not bad.
It probably would have been closer to 9, like I said, if I liked Settle Nothing more or the last track more. Really just a boost. One song boosted to 8 and one song boosted to 7 probably would have made it a 9 out of 10 for me. But I do really enjoy the album. It is a great album. I'm definitely going to come back to it again, listen to it again when tracks pop up. I'm not going to skip them. So I'm happy. I'm happy that I actually listened to this whole thing and not just the songs that I knew already.
Yeah, for sure. I
think, yeah, go ahead.
I think that even though this was released in late 91, 92, the fact that it's this relevant 32 years later is kind of worrisome. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
But and the message overall, the whole fuck the government, think for yourself, fight for yourself. All of that is, I love that shit. I really do. Yeah, fantastic album. Great sound, great blend of sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I dream very well with that bass line in my ear.
Yeah.
From earlier. So yeah, I definitely recommend this to literally anyone.
Oh yeah. Definitely my favorite album so far that I've listened to. I think because I'm pretty deep. I'm like at 85 now. I'm pretty sure it's still my highest rated or equal to my highest rated album so far. And I think it's going to be that way for a little bit. I know one album that's probably going to get higher. Maybe this time around I don't like it as much. But yeah, Rage killed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm glad to be doing this experience. It's rewarding. I enjoy music a lot. Music's a big part of my life. So to expand in places that I've neglected in the past is a nice change for me. I hope you guys are enjoying this at home. I hope you go listen to the albums yourself and compare to what we're talking about. Or if not, you just like listen to us talk. That's cool as well. You can always find us on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. We're everywhere. We're not hard to find. Alec, it is that time to give the people what they crave, what they need.
Bro, shout out to all the people. I hope like someone's older listening to this, right? That in the 90s, you were rocking that mohawk and the like cut off jean vest thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you went full on anarchist. Even the people now who beat that shit, like I could never pull off that style, and I don't like that kind of attention. But damn, dude, like the hardcore real ones, hell yeah! Shout out to you.
I'm not gonna lie. People like the people that can actually pull that off 100%. That like you look like you belong in a movie.
You cool as hell, bro.
You the real ones. Because
you like, cool as fuck.
To have that dedication and ability to pull that off daily,
and to stand for what you believe in too. Mm-hmm. Like you are legitimately some of the coolest fucking people in the world. On God.
And that goes for like anything. If you stand by what your business 100%,
almost like, hold on, almost. If it's the right thing, right?
If it like, doesn't affect other people, if your belief doesn't infringe on other people's beliefs, and you stand by 100%, be you.
Yeah,
like you like baggy pants, like baggy pants. You like bell bottoms, like bell bottoms.
Actually,
you hate others, stop hating others.
You probably should hate the bell bottoms. But everything else, yeah. But you said, hell yeah. Fuck yeah, even.
Thank you guys again for listening. We appreciate it. Make sure you like and comment and share, as always. And until next time, have a great day. Deuces.
Sorry. I'm listening. Good.
It's good. Thank you for listening to Hypothetically Sound. We hope you enjoyed the episode. All episodes can be found at hypotheticallysound.podbean.com, as well as on Apple, Spotify, and Pandora. For full unedited video versions of the podcast, please visit us at youtube.com/hypotheticallysound.